listen.
Never in my life associated the word boring with baseball.
We know what's up.
Me? Yeah. Famous? Yeah.
And I'm like giddy over there smiling like, we're about to win this shit.
Did everyone give you crap? Give me a good host story.
I'm not picking it up.
We both love the game.
We talk about it every day.
Can't get enough baseball.
Having some popcorn, you're fooling around your phone.
I'd have to wait in line for 3 hours.
Hang on, because it's about to be a wild ride.
Keep a straight face. There's nobody I'd rather have on than Adam Ottavino.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks, Rob. This is awesome.
You can't do it. You can't keep a straight face.
No, I can't.
Works 100% of the time. If you want to do that, have you had a guest on your show yet?
No, I will be soon, but no.
Okay.
At this point, it's been a one-man act. Yeah.
Well, it's an awesome one-man act, and we're going to come right out of the gate and promote it because I think it's bull crap anytime like a celebrity comes on a show and they promote it at the end. Like this is promoted at the beginning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, transparent. Why not?
Yeah, this is not like this is Jay Leno is that's dating myself. Whatever. Jimmy Fallon, they're like, oh, by the way, and you have a movie coming out. Thanks for the time. No.
Yeah.
Baseball and coffee. I'm gonna the Instagram handle. Right now, as I sit here, it's 476 followers. By the time, let's say midweek, that should be at least 500 followers. And that's at Baseball and Coffee, the show. At Baseball Coffee, the show. Who did the logo? It's a good logo.
MLB, actually. Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, they helped me out because I had to negotiate with them because I needed the actual iPad. That's the whole key to the show. So,
but that's what you should do a whole thing. You should have a name for the iPad. You have to brand everything.
Well, people ask me what app is that? What are you using? And it's sorry, can't use it. It's not available.
Sorry. You know what? Play X amount of years in the MLB, and you also get paid in iPads. You get paid in iPads and lifetime passes. I saw you went to a game with your lifetime, flaunting the lifetime pass. Do you get a seat, or do you have to just walk around?
Yeah, no, I got it. We got 2 seats. Yeah, me and a friend. So that's how it works. Best two available. Yeah.
Oh, the best 2. That's what it is. Best 2 available.
Yeah. So I thought we had a chance to get in the Legends seats, but we didn't. But we were right behind that, kind of pretty close to the Yankee dugout. Honestly,
I didn't realize. Nice. See, I learned something new every time. I knew that. So what we're talking about is that for you get the gold card. What is that? 10 years?
It's 8 years for the gold card.
8 years for the gold card. You get it's literally a gold card, and you can go to any ballpark, any game. But I did not know that you got best available seats. I thought you had to roam around. Ooh,
there it is, right there.
That.
Listen,
you probably shouldn't have shown your social security card when you. No, I'm joking.
No, but listen, the card, it's been kind of just sitting on my shelf in my office for, a while. I passed 8 years a while ago. So, I only knew one other person that ever used it. And I just was like, hey, why not? Let's do it. So we checked it out. Of course, there's a 2-hour rain delay. So I go to one game this year and it's 2-hour rain delay.
But there should be also a stipulation that if there is a rain delay while using that pass, you can go into the clubhouses or something like that.
Yeah, I try to keep this one. I tried to do my best to stay clear of all of my potential, ability to get wherever I need to go anywhere. Because obviously, I know a lot of people at the ballpark. I just try to keep this as civilian as possible. I didn't stay the whole game, but gave it a good go.
Have you gotten a press pass yet?
No.
You want one?
Not really.
Okay.
Not now.
You don't really need one.
I could just text people or whatever. I know a lot of guys, so
I know. I'm just.
That's good.
Everybody knows we pay in T-shirts, smiles, and press passes.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I paid in tickets for years as a player.
Oh, you did, and they tax you on the tickets.
Yeah, you're obviously paying, but people want tickets. Sometimes it's actually pretty easy to just hook somebody up with tickets and now you're in their good graces, so you got to use those as currency for sure.
Just say you just do not lose that gold card. If that gets in the wrong hands, man, it has your name on it, right?
Yeah, like Zach Hampel or somebody like that. Is that what we're talking about? But
they'll be like,
no, it's got my name. I got I had to show my ID and everything.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It was cool.
All right. Just I didn't know if anyone could use it. I'm just looking out for you. So let me ask you out of the gate, first off, do you want to pitch next year?
So it's kind of funny, like I'm not trying to pitch at all right now. And part of me just thinks I'm probably not going to pitch anymore just because I'm not going to the minor leagues. So it would take a team to just be like, hey, like you're on the team. You're on the team. We think we're going to have a good team and we're going to ride with you until we decide to release you or just keep you the whole year because you're on the team. And in that case, I'd probably play. I would get ready and play. And I think I could have kept going like that. But considering how it went this year, I just was like, why kick the can, any further down the road? Let's just start doing other things. I have other goals in baseball, in the baseball world. So let's just head that direction. Unless somebody makes some compelling reason to pivot back, which I don't see that forthcoming. So
I just want to let you know, like, listen, anything can happen. You close no doors, as you said.
Yep.
But I just want to let you know, in the industry, I'm known for a few things: T-shirts, tattoos, and basically asking guys if they want to retire on my podcast.
Well, I mean, the truth is, I think I'm trying to play in the WBC.
Oh, all right. Okay.
For Italy. So I talked to Ned Coletti and and Piazza and a couple people. So I'd like for that to happen. So hard to be retired if I'm going to have to train for that.
Oh no, that's a good one. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I don't want you to say that. I don't
know. I feel like this year there's been a lot of retirements. Oh my God.
I know half of them have come on Baseball's and Boring.
Maybe I'm a little sensitive to this topic now, but geez, there's like at least 10 that I'm like, oh, this guy retired, that guy retired.
Yeah.
So,
well, did you see Daniel Bard? Well, he didn't retire on here, but he was like, he had another great. We were just talking about great lines. His line was, it just came to, and he had this great story about he was packing his bag to go back to Tacoma across the country, and he just couldn't pack his bag. Like he just couldn't. He's like, I just realized my kids needed me more than I needed baseball. I just butchered that, but you get the feel. Yeah.
It's very sweet. It's very hard. It's very,
but
no, it works.
So just think of 3 years from now when you retire, just think of that. Because I remember Rick Porcello, he disappeared for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then I saw him at the at the David Ortiz golf tournament. I said, "Hey, have you retired?" He's like, "No, not yet." I said, "Do you want to retire?" He said, "Sure." Okay, so say I'm retired. So he did. Mitch Moreland, same thing. Hey, he's like in uniform at the Red Sox camp. Were you there? You might have been there.
No, not this year.
No, it was a few years ago.
No.
But I just said he was in the batting cage as a coach. Have you retired? No. You want to retire? Okay. But
sure.
It's not that complicated. Sean Casey, I was in a movie. You retired? Yeah, sure. Texting. There you go. I'm just saying. James Paxton, last year.
Yeah, that was recent.
A lot. Yeah, if you go Google, it will suggest where he retired. Anyway, but I like the WBC thing, and I'm not, so obviously you're switching sides because you played for Team USA.
Yeah, well, if I get selected, it'll be my second stint with the Italy team. I've actually played way back in 2009. Okay. So I have a little bit of experience with the federation over there.
I love it. I mean, doesn't that get you excited to play? And it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I love to play. I've always said that. I mean, really, if it would have been like I'm not a Hall of Famer, but if it would have been like a Verlander situation where they're just like, here's some money, you're gonna play. You could struggle for a bit. We're going to stick with you. I mean, shit. I might have kept playing till Jamie Moyer level, really, but that wasn't my reality. So
yeah,
you realize that.
Okay. WBC. Hold on, I'm writing this down. I'm just making up the Team Italy roster.
Yeah.
Slating you in. Pascotino.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who did I run into? Who's the guy from Italy who's playing for the Angels? He's literally from Italy.
There's an Italian guy on the Angels right now?
Yeah.
I should know that. That's embarrassing
Like
for
he's
me.
like he went he thought he's
Oh, I think he robbed the home run the other night against Pajes. He's got a
no,
no.
unless he
Oh,
switched
he's a pitcher.
positions.
He's a pitcher. Okay, pitcher.
Uh uh
It's Sam Aldegheri. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
so I Googled. This is
Did you have a typing
Yeah.
issue or
No.
autocorrect?
no. I Googled Italy Angels
Oh my god! And you got actual
and I got a
Italian?
bunch of figurines.
They sell those at the cart at the Vatican. Those ones.
Yeah, Sam, I talked to him. So he's on the team.
All right. Good.
All right. Anyway, another thing that I want to what I do want to get into, I want to get into your perspective of like the stretch run position for the playoffs, all
Mhm.
that, because I think
Mhm.
that's really interesting because it's rubber meet the road time, and we went through the trade deadline, and I do want to talk about your perspective of the Mets, which
Mm.
is like holy mackerel. But as I had a really, really bad photo taken of me today, which I was really depressed about. And it was like, okay, the season caught up to me,
Mm.
right? And I see this with guys, with players, like the season catches up to you physically. I'm not saying you're always in good shape.
Yeah, but this is the time right now, mid-August.
I know, but this is what I think I caught it just in time where I think I can like have my washboard stomach back by the time I hit the end of this regular season. But it did remind me like, oh man, like you come into spring training at full muscle capacity, these guys. And there's I don't know everybody, probably more guys than before have stayed in shape. But they're also you probably played with guys like, yeah, I know that guy, his gut is good. His uniform size is going to be a lot different in August. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. Listen, it's a war of attrition. It's funny to me. It's just hilarious to me because I feel like everybody loses their damn minds in the off season and in spring training, and they forget the plot. Like they forget that this time of the season is coming, and your team's going to be on the edge of being something or not being something, and everybody's tired and hurting, and all that stuff you did in the off season. It either prepared you for this or it didn't. But a lot of the daily, maintenance stuff is really like what it is all about at this point. Like
Oh,
you got guys that play every day, like a Brandon Nimmo. Like he comes to the ballpark 3:30 at a home game now instead of grinding it out early and he wears sweatpants till like 5:30, gets a couple swings in the cage, gets the body ready and goes out there and plays because that's what it takes. Like you don't have enough bandwidth anymore to go through the whole song and dance. You just got to show up and play some ball. And that's just the reality of this time of year. And some people understand that better than others, and some people try to burn it too hard the
oh,
whole way, and it grinds them down.
it's like best shape of our life season in February
Yeah.
is like time honored tradition, and the teams do it too, man. Like the teams are doing cone drills and timing you in the 40-yard dash, and
I mean, they're recording your velocity in bullpens and your everything in bullpens, and they're telling certain pitchers, we need to see 94 in this spring training bullpen. And it's like, I get it. You're trying to like set a standard here or whatever, and we're going to have to hit it. But it all just seems silly when you get to this part of the season. And it's like, do you have your guys still? Do you have enough pitchers to get through this that can pitch? Do you have enough hitters? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
no,
just...
I'm glad we're talking about this, even if it's my own expense of feeling terrible about myself. But this is, and by the way, this is after resisting the ice cream machine all year long, and I felt like I was doing it. But the season's a long season for everybody. But you're right.
100%.
You're right. I mean, I think that it comes, and you talk about measuring in spring training. I remember when what's the pitching contraption?
The traject
No, not Traject, not Hawkeye. No,
trackman.
Trackman. When
Yeah.
they started carting out these Trackman things, and it used to be like you had one, you had two, now they're at every single mound, right?
Yep, every
And,
month.
and so they're like, well, we want to have the baseline for next spring training. Okay, great. Okay, why? Why? I mean, just to your point, and that's the thing that sucks. And we kind of talked about this before about how now when you go out to a bullpen, it's like you better have all the measurables if
Well,
you're young.
Well, what I think is hilarious is I bet it's not that way right now. I bet when pitching coaches around the league and assistant pitching coaches and an analyst go out to watch a starter's bullpen on August 15th, even they understand it at this point. They're like, okay, man, what are you working on? Don't overdo it. We need you to be healthy in a couple days, you know? But that's just not the attitude at the beginning. Because again, everybody loses their freaking minds and they think just because we can measure something that we have to all the time.
But you mentioned Nimmo, but and they say like for both pitchers and hitters, guys are trying to like even this time of year, they're trying to put their best foot forward, whether they're putting their best foot forward to stay on the major league roster or putting their best foot forward to say, hey, I can actually be part of the solution when it comes to when these games really, really count. Like
100%.
so they're like, I'll be the one to show up at 1:00 in the 1:00 in the afternoon. I'll be the one to do the heavy ball thing when everyone's looking, like whatever it is, that's to your point. That can be a dangerous thing, and I think that's why we're grinding through so many injuries now. So.
Well, it's also just there's a mental side to it too. I mean, I used to always make this joke because I was a relief pitcher that really I just needed 15 minutes of perfect focus to do my job, right? Like it really came down to 15 great minutes, but to a lesser extent, it's the same way for the hitters too. They're going to be in the box for a total of like 10 minutes a night, and then they have to lock in on defense and kind of stay mentally connected. But it's all about like how much bandwidth you have and not wasting it on stuff that doesn't matter. And so you see a lot of people at this time of year that just inherently understand it when they didn't understand it earlier.
Who was the best guy that you
think that's great?
Who was the best guy that understood it for you?
I think like Adam Wainwright was an early one in my career that seemed to understand really what the actual job was, which is like putting myself in the best position to compete every fifth day, over and over and over again, being there for my guys. And you see it a lot with great relief pitchers, guys that post as well. But I mean, from a position player standpoint, I mean, shoot, I was blessed to be around a lot of great guys, but definitely there's a couple Met players that I played with recently, like Alonso, Lindor, Nimmo. They play every game. And I know there's some Braves guys that are doing that. Like Matt Olson just passed 750 something in a row. Yeah, but like when you're in that, like you are actually providing maximum value. You are totally living up to your contract, like what it says in your contract that you need to do. And there's just something about that garners respect. And, everybody in the clubhouse wants to follow that example. And you start to see like, it's not doing less, it's just being smarter with your routine every day and like learning more and more about what matters and how to put yourself in position to do that and not be wasting time with stuff that doesn't matter.
So this is going to be good because we're going to like segue into what we're talking about being positioned for this stretch run, because it is a stretch run. It's you're under 40 games left, and teams are if you have a bad run, then you're going to fall out of it and you're going to be playing catch up. I just looked up a year ago as we taped this, the Mets, the team that you were on, 64-60. Fangraphs percentage to make the playoffs 22.3%. To win the World Series 1%. But the reason I bring that up is because can you remember the feeling when you get to this point? It's the vibes are getting better, but there also we can't afford to have like a 3-game losing streak here.
Yeah, I want to say at this time last year, we were on a road trip to the West Coast at one point. It went through San Diego and Arizona. And I remember going out there thinking like, we have to at least break even on this road trip. or we're going to really be screwed. As well as we've done to get back in it. Like we have to at least break even. And then what ended up happening was we won like 5 out of 6. So at that moment, it was like, oh, okay, we still got plenty of gas in the tank, and we're just going to keep riding this thing. And we had in our minds no thoughts of the division. It was just a wild card, so it seemed more achievable at that point. I remember when we came back from that road trip. So, yeah, to answer your question, like, yeah, you know how close the margin is to like really make it or not make it. And there's like these days with the way that the playoffs are structured, there's like 5 or 6 teams always hunting down those last few spots. So it's more than the games. It's like jumping over teams as well, and that's kind of tricky at times.
Well, you know what's crazy? I'm just looking at the odds. The Tigers a year ago, 1.1% chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. The gritty Tigers.
The gritty Tigers. I mean, it kind of feels like if I had to say, if there was a team like that this year, let's pick one.
St. Louis.
Ooh, really?
They're not. It's probably not going to happen, but they're not that far out. They're like 3.5 out of the wild card, and they traded away like all their bullpen: Helsley, Maton, Matz, and they really didn't do anything this offseason. So. That could be like kind of Tiger-esque, like trade away pieces, but then still go on a run.
The Cardinals 3.3% right now.
Yeah.
61, 64.
I don't know. Like, do you believe in like Texas? I feel like they're done, but I don't know.
You know, and that's the thing that sucks, honestly, because I like the way that Chris Young approached things. Like, I applaud him for how he does business.
Me too.
You know, whether it was 2 years ago or this year, where they basically said, hey, you know what? We're going to get this guy, Merrill Kelly. We're going to pay. It's going to hurt. It's not like you obviously have to give up decent prospects for him, and we're going to go over the luxury tax. So, and they got Phil Maton, which was, I thought, like, you know, former teammate of you.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was a great pickup.
Yeah.
Like, good for
I
them.
agree.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like it takes a turn.
Yeah, I mean, now it looks like they're kind of far back, and Houston has mojo, so does Seattle for sure. So that's the tough part for that. But I'm with you. There's 2 teams this year that I actually like their approach, and it backfired. Like the Giants, they got Rafi, which I thought they needed. They had like no hitting, and they just went straight in the tank. And then Texas, I like what they've done the whole year. Their pitching is arguably like top 2 or 3 in the game, and it doesn't matter. They can't win anyway. So. I feel bad for both of those teams.
You know, one of the things is, and you mentioned Texas, Eovaldi. I think Eovaldi's season is one of the most underappreciated stories in baseball this year. And I look forward to your show talking. Have you talked about him yet?
I watched one game against, I think he pitched against the Yankees through like 6 or 7 shutout.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's one of my favorites. He's probably one of your favorites, I'm sure. But he's just so good. It's amazing.
I wish I could dig it up. I did a podcast with him. It wasn't this podcast. It was a different iteration of it. But it was, and I remember saying to him, maybe it was going into his contract year. And I said, you strike me as someone who will evolve, right? And I probably was trying to be nice. But he's a smart guy, right? Because remember, before, he high 90s guy, slider, like, I don't think a lot of people were saying that, like arm injuries, but here he is, absolutely dominating.
Yeah, no, he's fascinating in a lot of ways. Number one, high school draft pick, hard throwing high school right-handed draft pick. That's the most volatile, you know, subgrouping of players to be drafted. Like high school right-handed pitcher is just
with a Tommy John surgery already under his belt, right?
All right, that's part 2. He actually has 2 Tommy Johns now under his belt. And when he came up to the big leagues, he basically just had a fastball when he was with the Dodgers, and then he kind of started figuring out other stuff as he went. This type of player is usually out of baseball. Like, as great as talented as they are, they're usually out of baseball. But not only is he not out of baseball, he's having like his best stretch, 35 plus.
So consider this a preview of the Baseball and Coffee show. Why?
Yep, there you go. Yeah.
Why? You're workshopping this for your show, basically.
No, I mean, listen, the I can tell you what he does now and why it works. He throws four pitches. You have no idea what's coming at any time. He's really good at executing them. He does timing things. He's he's as tough as they come. He's mastered all the little things. He's the what like work ethic wise, like, and I've played with a lot of the greats. He's probably number one or number two I've ever seen. So he has that going for him, which is just like next level stuff. But also, I also think like he's been around enough places where he was able to soak in a lot of information, and he was smart enough to actually do that. And really, in baseball, the longer you play, you realize that like the human beings are the separators. Like people are born with certain levels of talent, they're different shapes and sizes. How twitchy are you? How bouncy are you? All that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, like it's the human being that's able to drive that ship and is able to make the adjustments along the way and figure it out and learn from their failures. That's always the separator. It's just like who the person is. And Nathan Eovaldi, I mean, it's pretty clear to everybody that he just decided along the way, like, I'm going to get incrementally better and see where it takes me. And it's taken him, pretty damn far.
So, okay. So I was a big back when Beckett, I was covering Beckett, and he would talk about Dave Page was a strength coach, and Dave Page would talk about Halliday's work ethic, and then Beckett's, what Beckett did, and then, John Lester and these guys. And a big part of this was, all right, having them around and having people watch how they do things you want that pitcher, the good pitcher, but you also want that value of having that guy around. I know for Eovaldi, in other words, Whitlock like followed him around like a puppy, like in a good way. I'm not being facetious, like in a good way. And he said this, and he almost went back to the Red Sox this offseason, and everyone was excited. And I think that was one of the drawing points. So how important is that?
I mean, listen, I modeled my whole existence around that idea the last few years that I played. I mean, I prided myself on having figured a lot of stuff out, and having a growth mindset always, and definitely trying to be a team guy. I thought it was my responsibility to pass down a lot of the knowledge that I had, and or at least be a good example of somebody to look at and say, man, like, I'm going to go ask Otto why he's doing this or that. Because when I was younger, we certainly had role models to watch, but people were a lot less approachable. Like I watched Chris Carpenter, Adam Wainwright, Jason Isringhausen, you name a Cardinal, who in that era, which was like an impressive era, go to work, and it was amazing to watch. And I got a full education just by watching. But in terms of like asking questions and stuff, like it was just harder back then. So when I was older, I wanted to be very accessible. And Nate's the same way. And if you ask anybody in either clubhouse, Texas or Boston, certainly, like guys like Whitlock, Houck, like he changed the whole culture for them forever. Like now everything that they do now going forward in the game is going to try to, in their mind, like make Nate proud of them, like, and then that's going to pass down to the next. And you got to have some element of that in any team, in any organization, if you want to win. Like, elite performance is inspiring, and inspiration like is what really drives like hard work without it feeling like hard work.
Do you think teams value that like they should?
No, because it's not like so measurable, but I will say some teams do. I mean, listen, when I talked to Chris Young this offseason about me, the first thing he told me is, well, I got to sign Nathan Eovaldi. I got to re-sign Nathan Eovaldi. Like he wasn't hiding the fact that he wants to bring back Nate. And I'm sure that there are projection systems that are going to say, oh, he's got declining velocities, a two-time Tommy John. He's really only had 3 really complete seasons. XYZ reason. We can lump him in with everybody else. He's older, aging curve. I mean, there's a million reasons you can, not pay a guy like Nathan Eovaldi. But Chris Young is like, no, this is actually my priority, is to pay a Nathan Eovaldi because I know what he means on the mound, which he turned out to be absolutely right about because he got like a 1.5 ERA this year. And then secondly, what he means to the organization. So yes, the team is not going to probably win this year, but he's still leaving his footprint in there. And that's going to echo for a really long time.
Well, that's why they don't trade him either. I mean, it's like, well, they weren't going to trade him because they were in it. But even when they weren't in it, it's like people were getting this all like mixed up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we get it. You want Nathan Eovaldi, and maybe in early July, the Rangers weren't necessarily in it, but he's got 2 more years left on his contract, and he's really good. And they probably want to be good. So.
I mean, he's one of the people like, it's like if you're a college and you're doing like recruiting and you bring a kid in, like you want him to meet your Nathan Eovaldi, So it's like it's important to have that guy around.
All right. So as we head into this, which teams do I do want to get specifically into the Mets, but
okay, sure.
Well, okay, let's start with the Mets, and then we'll talk about sort of the broader picture of like which teams you think are the best positioned right now.
Yep.
The Mets, we talk about the trade deadline. I think most people said that was really interesting. I'm always a big proponent of, hey, get uncomfortable, trade the prospects. If you like the guy, get the guy. That's all good. And that's what it seemed like that David Stearns did. Gave up a ton of prospects for these relief pitchers. It has not worked out. What was your initial reaction, and what is your feeling about this team right now?
My initial reaction was that Stearns did a good job with the relievers that he got. I really liked what he did in the bullpen. I thought they were still a starter short. I thought they could have acquired another starter. Didn't really have maybe my finger on exactly who, but how do I feel about them now? I'm concerned just because they're not getting any length out of the starters at all, and the way that the bullpen is currently structured, it's not really designed to take on bulk innings like that. Like it's much more designed to line them up and knock them down. Diaz, Helsley, Rogers. Then you can match up Raley, you can match up Stanek a little bit, Reed Garrett. But other than that, the last 2 guys are going to be a revolving door going around and around and around because they're covering so many innings right now. So that's my number one concern. Like they don't have a pitcher at this moment that can go out there and just win the game on his own. And in the past, that's been the case. Minaya last year, Senga at times, and certainly early in the year, they were all rolling. But that's the biggest issue with the Mets right now is just the starters haven't been clicking, and there's a lot of concern about each of them individually. So it's hard to see where that's going to come from.
I don't know if it's been brought up. You probably follow like what's being talked about with the Mets in the last few weeks more than I do, but has there been any talk about, okay, you gave up the Drew Gilbert, you gave up all these guys for these relievers. All right, that's fine, but couldn't you have done the same thing, sacrifice getting that reliever and taking a run at a guy like Merrill Kelly? Because we mentioned starters. Like, honestly, at the trade deadline, there wasn't a ton of starters where you say that guy's going to pitch in the postseason sort of starters. We know what happened with Joe Ryan and Sandy Alcantara and those guys. They weren't going to get moved. They weren't moved. But Merrill Kelly was the one guy that you say, yeah, we understand that he's in a contract here, but still you have a pretty good idea of all the things that you just mentioned that they're lacking, that he might have been able to be that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have, like I said, I wanted them to get another starter. I do think part of the calculus was, they have this Nolan McLean who debuted 2 days ago and looked really, really good. They have Brandon Sproat. They have some guys that they must believe in down there as depth, and I guess that's the idea. But ultimately, this is kind of when it goes wrong for a David Stearns team, this is going to be what it is. Like he doesn't go at the top of the market for starting pitchers. And in the offseason, he didn't really do much with the bullpen either. It was more of, I'm going to sign a ton of depth guys and hope to pop another Reed Garrett out of that group. And unfortunately for the Mets, none of that happened this year. They weren't able to pop a reliever out of thin air like they were last year. So now he had to cover up for that. He had to go, luckily, they can do that. They have prospects, cover up for it and close down the holes in the bullpen. But the starting stuff is a little tougher to patch up at this time of year. To your point, there wasn't a ton out there.
Yeah.
And, I think that's it.
No, it's in early June. I remember this, Adam, that early June, Stearns did a press conference and everyone was asking him, oh man, how awesome is it to be awesome when it comes to picking pitchers? I mean, that was early June and it flipped on a dime. It flipped like it was not. And our good friend Julian McWilliams, he could talk an hour ranting and raving about this, but
yes,
it was,
I could too.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean, I think,
it's not an individual shot at any one team or another team, but the concept of like build like I can build a pitcher out of thin air over and over again in perpetuity forever is just it's laughable to me.
yeah, you need to pay for certainty, and you can whatever. It's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Um, it's, but and the guy that I thought was interesting for starting pitching, like we said, we know what happened with the controllable high end guys. They weren't dealt. We know what happened with Merrill Kelly. There was a couple interesting guys who were dealt. The guy Ryan Bergert, who went
Yep.
from San Diego to Kansas City, he's been pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting guy. Dustin May had one good one bad one, but he could be an interesting guy. But to me, they might have. It'll be interesting to see if Toronto threaded the needle when it came to Shane Bieber.
Right, yeah.
And I say this because you go back to the position player analogy of Kyle Schwarber back in 2021, right?
Yep.
Where it's going to cost a lot to get a really good Kyle Schwarber, but he has a hamstring injury. It's going to keep him out for a month. Like, it's going to cost a lot to get a starting pitcher who might be able to pitch in the postseason, but Shane Bieber, he hasn't pitched all year,
Yeah, no, I mean he's about to come back, right? He's pretty close.
Yeah, he had a great run in the minor leagues. He got to appear on Baseball Isn't Boring, which is obviously a huge feather in his cap.
Yeah.
So he's ready to go. So I'm just like, I know you gave up your 5th ranked prospect, but so what?
Well, I mean, the Blue Jays have a 5-game lead at the moment with, like you said, less than 40 to go. I don't remember the last time they were in this situation.
No.
So they got to go.
Yeah, they got to go. All right. So what teams do you feel good about? What teams don't you feel good about? Let me as we sit here.
Yeah.
Let me set the scene for you. Blue Jays are up 5 games in the AL East over the Red Sox, up 5.5 on the Yankees. And the Red Sox are a half game up in the wild card on the 3rd spot. The Yankees, they are a half game back of Seattle. So it's pretty tight in the wild card race.
Yeah.
Detroit, they're rolling, but Cleveland 3.5 back in the wild card. And so I was going to answer the question I asked you of what team could be that Detroit Tigers. Kansas City, 4 games back right now in the wild card. And then you have Seattle in the wild card. As we said, the Rangers 5.5. What teams are you feel good about? What teams don't you feel good about?
American League, I'm pretty high on the Mariners at the moment. I like their chances to win that division outright. I think they have
one back right now.
Yeah, I just think starting pitching is still excellent, and now I really like Naylor plus Suarez. Suarez hasn't done anything over there since he's gotten there, but it's a matter of time until he hits a couple homers, and it just made their offense better. Their offense really needed that, so that was a good double move there. So I'm big on the Mariners in the American League. Detroit worries me a little bit. They've been playing well. They're way out ahead, but I don't know. They were like 13 up on Guardians at one point, and then it dropped all the way to 5 at one point. I don't know. They've been a little clunky. American League East, those could easily be the best 3 teams in the AL. It could be. But of those 3, I've been pretty heavy on the Red Sox, but Toronto keeps winning. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and the Yankees. I've seen, and we've seen this happen before, where it just seems like teams are like, there's no chance. Everything is gone completely wrong for them in August after they've had a good first half, and then somehow in September they reemerge and reappear. I don't know. Maybe that'll be the Yankees. All right,
Yeah.
National League. So right now you feel best about Seattle.
Yeah, in American League Seattle, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll give you the playoff teams currently right now in the National League. Phillies 5.5 up on the Mets. Mets are in the wild card. Milwaukee 8 up on the Cubs. Cubs in the wild card easily. Cincinnati only a game back of a wild card spot. As you said, the Cardinals 5 back of the wild card. The Dodgers, fresh off the sweep of the Padres, which shocked me. They are now 2 games up on the Padres, and Padres are in the wild card, and then Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, I mean, here's the first question. Do you believe in the Brewers?
Yeah, I think right now, I think they're my second team in the National League right
Ooh.
now. Yeah, I have the Phillies as my team I'm most confident in National League, and now it's the Brewers. Now it was the Padres before this weekend. I thought the Padres were had all the momentum and were gonna win that series in LA. Now they get swept. So I don't know what to make of the Padres and Dodgers. Still like both of them, but you can't not take the Brewers seriously at this point.
No, you can't. And Zach Wheeler scares me a little bit with the Phillies, although Noel's coming back.
Yeah, he got killed though his first game back. I don't know. I just like the Phillies. I just like the Phillies high end guys. I think Duran makes a big difference for them.
But we talk about the Padres. That a lot of times we say, "Oh, look at they added the Mason Miller to the bullpen, whatever. They have a good bullpen." No, their bullpen is insane.
Insane.
It might be. I mean, you tell me. Stuff wise, it might be the best bullpen I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's in the conversation. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah,
we don't like absolutes. All right. So in synopsis, you like the Seattle. You want to see it. You're thinking Seattle Phillies World Series.
At the moment, yeah. At the moment.
That'll be good. That's all right. Sorry. Last two things is tell me about your show, what you like doing it. Do you like doing it? What has surprised you about it? The reaction that you've got from it, all of it, because it's a great idea and you do a great, I'm not just saying this because you're sitting here.
Yeah.
We pay you in compliments though. But you do a sincerely a great job with it. And also another thing, Adam, is that in this world, uniqueness is such a great thing. So refreshing, and this is unique. So what's your takeaway from doing it so far?
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you noting its uniqueness because I think that was kind of the whole point. When I used to mess around with that dugout iPad, obviously, while I was playing, and I just thought to myself, this is a fun way to cover baseball, to watch baseball. And I realized pretty quickly when I wasn't playing every day that it's just very hard to really know what's going on in all these games. You can look at the highlights, you can look at the box scores, you can read the articles, but you don't really have like full context. Like I can see, Blake Snell threw 7 innings, 1 run, but I want to see how he did it. Like I want to have an idea of how he did it, and that kind of helps me stay engaged with the game on a little bit of a higher level. And I thought, maybe a small community of people would be as nerdy about baseball as I am, and would want to interact, around these topics that kind of pop up organically every day, and I just kind of see where it goes because I just like doing it. I like being caught up on everything that's happening, and obviously I'm obsessed with the game. So it's really that simple. In terms of the response to it, I don't have like a ton of people watching all the time, but that's fine. Like it's just a matter of I just want people who are into it to be into it. I'm doing it either way for my own enjoyment, and
that's one of the things.
You're
already in this isn't necessarily the traditional podcast, but I think I've said this to you. You see a lot of times that people want to do something, like whether it's a podcast or whether, especially like players, they get, that seems interesting, and they realize it's the grind of it. Like it's fun until it's not fun, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I don't know where you've been, but you're like, hey, tomorrow 10:00.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. I'm so used to the day in, day out nature of baseball. Obviously, I want to manage, I want to run teams. These are all things that are in my blood and things that I want to do. But in the meantime, like I like the cadence of the game. Like I feel like I need to be attached to it, at least check in with it for an hour every day. And that's all we're really doing. And we're able to do it because I have it's such an amazing time with such high tech tools. So I can go in and look and really learn stuff and feel like I'm informed in a more complete way. And that's it. It's just fun.
What is the thing? Has there been one, or maybe just one that jumps to mind of thing that you were able to sort of identify that you were watching? That like, oh, that's really interesting. That you might not have known if you didn't dig into it.
Well, today I watched a lot of catcher stuff. Like I watched a lot of like 1 knee down versus 2 knees up. What the actual results are saying is the better approach to do that. Who's really good at framing on high pitches, on low pitches? Are there people that are good at framing on both of those? Those seem to fly in each other's faces. Like just little stuff in the weeds. Catcher throwing, I was looking at, pop time's not everything, accuracy. One thing I've noticed big time by watching a lot of catchers throw is they're clearly teaching guys now to miss with their throw more on the first base side of second base. You can tell, like, it's just like nobody's missing on the third base side of second base anymore. Everybody's content to miss over there because it gives your guy a chance to tag a foot or something.
That's interesting. It's almost like because going to Little League, okay, hit the glove right at the bag. And you're right. Now that, they're saying hit the guy's back leg.
Well, they're just like, if you have this whole window over here, like as long as you're in this window, you give your shortstop a chance. And, they had to come up with some good strategies because obviously the whole league's been running rampant ever since the rule changes. But no, it's just fun to investigate these things and see how a lot of the new stuff plays out. Also, just watching hitters. I've had a really good time. Like Nick Kurtz stands out, for example. Like I've never watched Nick Kurtz. He's a rookie, but I got to go watch. I watched like 50 Nick Kurtz at bats, so I have a really good feel for like is it legitimate? Is it not legitimate? What's he doing up here? How is he achieving this as a rookie? So it's just fun to do that instead of just read about it and kind of imagine it.
Well, again, it's actually science. It's not just like conjecture. But I want to ask you one quick thing as the catcher thing. It came up a few weeks ago about catcher's interference.
Oh yeah. We covered that too. That was crazy.
This has become a bigger and bigger thing, and one of the things that there was a couple of weeks before that, like early, no one was really around, and Red Sox had taken all their catchers and all their catching coaches, which there's equal number of all of them, and they're measuring out batter's box. They're measuring out stuff and they have actually a little thing saying, hey, this guy, you want to move up more. This guy, you want to move back and forth. So this become a thing, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything, like I said, if you can measure it, they're going to measure it.
Yeah.
The outfielder depth used to be a big thing. Oh, if you play deeper, your metrics will be better. You'll rob more extra base hits. Kevin Kiermaier plays deep. Everybody now has to play deep. So then you have the little card. They're secretly spray painting one blade of grass where they want you to stand. I'm sure it's the same for the catchers. It's like, this is optimal. This is where we're going to steal the most strikes. Yeah.
Who's the best catcher?
Right now, Patrick Bailey, Alejandro Kirk, and Dylan Dingler from the Tigers are all very, very good because they're good at everything. Like there's some guys that are just good at throwing, and there's some like Narvaez for the Sox and Luis Torrens are like the top two throwers this season, but they're not like amazing at everything. Yeah. Whereas those three guys are plus in every category, so that's why I would give those guys the nod.
All right,
at the moment.
All right. Last thing is, if you win the WBC for Team Italy, will you get a baseballs and boring tattoo?
Oh my God. Yeah, I can agree to that because that's a very slim chance that the USA F team wins the WBC. Because let's be honest, that's kind of what it is. I believe in you. I believe. I just want to get another commitment. They're stacking up. Giolito yesterday. Well, you gotta get what is it, Mr. Cartoon?
Mr. Cartoon.
Mr. Cartoon is not available. Like he's not somebody you can just.
I didn't say that you get it from Mr. Cartoon.
All right, there you go. So, there you go. Yeah.
Cora's agreed. Win the World Series. He's agreed.
They got a shot. Got a shot.
I had Mickey Moniak too. I was hoping he would get traded. Oh man, I don't think that's happening.
Is he with the Rockies?
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough one. Yeah,
I haven't covered much Rockies. There hasn't been too much exciting Rocky stuff.
No. The Marlins just came through. They're sort of an interesting team, but
yes.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Rob.